everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Brianna Lentz, and in today's video I will be showing you how I made my own natural weighted base for this Anne of Green Gables doll. This is a crocheted Anne of Green Gables doll using a free pattern by FiveLittleMonsters.com. I quickly wanted to share, if you were wondering what fiber I was using all acrylic yarn for this project, using the soft and sleek low pill fiber from Yarn Bee at Hobby Lobby. FiveLittleMonsters.com recommends you use poly pellets, which you can buy for about $26.99 a bag at Walmart.com or at Walmart. On Walmart.com via my app, via whatever it is today, April 2025, you can get a big bag of poly pellets for about $13.99. However, I'm not really sure how many poly pellets I really need, so I really didn't want to buy that. I didn't really want to invest in that for this project. And a big reason why people like to use it is because it is machine washable. It's not food. I get that. But I really wasn't interested in buying it. I mean, maybe in the future I will, okay? But for this project, since I only know of needing to make a weighted base for one project, I thought, what can I use? Like, what would they have used back in the day? You know, like, people in the 80s were really resourceful. They used beans, they used rice. You know, they've got microwavable rice bags to heat your... Anyway, so I thought, you know what? I'm going to use what I have. What I first thought that I would do is I thought that I would use balloons and fill up the balloons. That did not go well. This was really messy. I don't recommend it. The next thing that I decided to do was I decided to go ahead and cut a big square of fabric, put as much of the rice in there as I wanted, and then sew the top closed into a circle, which is what you're going to see in this tutorial. So I went to my scraps of fabric. I chose a coordinating square of fabric. The size that you need is going to vary on the size of weighted base that you need for your doll or plushie or whatever it is that you're making. And so I just eyeballed it. And as you saw, I checked to see if it would fit into my doll okay. If it was too much, you know, at this point I can adjust it. Then I just took another coordinating color. This is a DMC floss. I'm sure you can use regular sewing thread as well. But I just used regular old DMC in green, and I tied a knot at the end, and then I just do a running stitch all the way around, and then I'm going to pull it tight and cinch it closed. I think it's important to notate that as I went around doing my running stitch, I went about an inch and a half higher than where my rice naturally settled. And I went in a circle all the way around because that's the shape that I want to cinch this closed. If you're wondering what rice this is just regular old long grain white rice. I chose this over beans just because my weighted base didn't need to be very large. I think beans would have been just fine, but I did like that rice seemed a little bit of an easier choice for me. So again, I'm just doing a pretty loose running stitch in a circular motion all the way around to the very end to where I'm not going to finish it off. I need to cinch this closed before I tie anything off. So now that I've reached the end, I'm going to pull my thread so that way it is on the outside, and I'm going to pull it closed, kind of adjusting and playing with it as I go to make sure that I don't have any fabric that is too short. I want everything to be at the top above my running stitch, because otherwise your rice will fall out. Once you have that cinched like that, you can manipulate it a little bit to the shape that you want. Just kind of tug and pull a little bit, and then you need to shove your needle through back and forth a few times, almost like in an X pattern or an X motion, just to make sure that you fully secure that closed. And before I did that, I kind of went around and really secured it in a circle around a few times, so that way my fabric didn't move too much on me. And with a pretty sturdy needle, I was able to get it through the fabric, no problem. Once you feel like you have everything really secure, that your rice isn't going to come out of your weighted base, go ahead and securely finish off your thread and cut your remaining thread. And now you want to go ahead and make sure that it fits into your base the way that you think it will, because now's the time that you can redo it. And for this crochet doll pattern, I just needed to secure this onto the very bottom of my doll, so that way when it sits on a shelf, it's weighted and it will sit upright. And this fit perfectly. And so now I'm just going to continue crocheting per the pattern and add my polyfill stuffing on top of that. But I have a really nice weighted base that's going to be malleable and really help my doll sit upright. Overall, I'm really happy with how this weighted base turned out. I was able to just use free resources from my own house. I didn't have to buy anything. I didn't have to introduce any extra plastic. I'm already using acrylic yarn. So, I mean, really, it wouldn't have mattered if I used acrylic pellets. That's not why I chose not to do it. It's just that I didn't want to spend the money on it. So this was a really easy way to add a weighted base to any of your dolls or plushies, not just this Anna Green Gables pattern, which I do recommend. I really did like this pattern from 5littlemonsters.com. And I hope that this was helpful to you. Don't forget to like this video, share this video if you found it helpful, educational, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss my next tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, you guys, and I'll see you guys in my next project and in my next video. Bye!